In Indian culture, mystic traditions and rituals are tremendously powerful, transmuting creative energy into elemental experiences. These seminal experiences convert itself into vivid imagery, and the grip of mysticism is felt in the symbolism of the Bhoota Aradhane tradition of the Tulunadu region of Karnataka. The Bhoota Kola ritual is dramatic and is executed as a special ceremony where the whole community, irrespective of social order, comes under the spell of a man who hails from the lowest caste and appears in the form of a Bhoota. The spirit impersonator assumes a formidable position in the uninterrupted ritual, and every individual present at the Bhoota Kola looks towards him for a divine message. The significance of the Bhoota cult is narrated in the Paddanas, lyrical compositions sung during the Bhoota ritual. This is an oral tradition and is passed on in the family of the impersonator through generations. No one knows when this tradition of spirit worship originated in this region. Each spirit has iconic variations and are categorized under different types. Ullatti is a female spirit icon that hails from the Rajan Daiva or royal category. This Bhoota's origins can be traced back to the village Anantadi, located 40 kilometers east of Mangalore city. The important Bhootasthana here is known as the Chittarige and is dedicated to Ullatti and her attendant Malaraya. In the Chavadi or veranda of what was once the ancestral home of the former Ballala or ruler of the place, a suspended wooden cot represents the seat of Ullatti, while another cot placed on the floor is the seat of Malaraya. Legend has it that the Bhoota came to Anantadi on a particular evening at dusk in the guise of a woman and first encountered a Billava who was tapping the juice of a palm tree. She enquired with him where she could find safe accommodation for a night in the village. The Billava suggested that she could request the hospitality of their Ballala. Thus, the Ballala's veranda came to be regarded as her seat at Anantadi. Also known as Dhumavati, the Jummadi Bhoota is an androgynous deity worshipped during the Bhoota Kola ritual. It is dressed as a female from waist above and as a male from below, probably a parallel identity of Ardhanarishvara. The headgear is pronounced with an elaborate crown and plaited hair seen behind, hinting at its feminine beauty. The torso is also of feminine form, with clearly defined breasts and a bosom decorated with necklaces and other jewelry. In its hands, the Jummadi holds a bell in the left and a sword in the right. The feet of this Bhoota are bare of adornment. Bhootasthanas or shrines are dedicated to Jummadi Bhoota. Kodamanithaya belongs to the category of Rajan Daiva or Asura Daiva, patronized by royal families, and is also known as the kingly spirit. It holds a distinctive place in the hegemony of Bhoota traditions and is considered as the Dharma Daiva or the righteous one. This icon has a beautifully articulated crown that is shaped like a snake. It has extra large earrings, large neck pieces, and an enlarged halo known as Ani. The icon also has special anklets known as Gaggara, an ornament considered sacred to the Bhootas. To indicate its royal status, all the jewelry and attributes related to this particular Bhoota are made of silver, and the spirit impersonator is adorned with these special pieces during a Bhoota Kola. Kalkuda Daiva represents the sculptor community of the Vishwakarma clan. This Bhoota is worshipped in the region of Karkala and Venuru. One of the most distinct features of the Kalkuda is the chisel in its left hand and a hammer in the right. The ornamentation on this icon is simple, in keeping with its humble profession. The legend around Kalkuda states that during his tenure as a human being, he carved the beautiful statue of Gommata or Bahubali at Karkala. The jealous king had the left arm and right leg of the master artist cut off to prevent him from creating another sculpture of the kind. Kalkuda's sister, Kallurthi, was deeply grieved by her brother's fate and vowed to avenge him. The brother-sister duo wreaked havoc on Karkala, and the king, realizing his misdeeds, promised to worship them in exchange for their mercy. The deformed artist then went on to carve another Gommata statue for the Ajila chief at Venuru. The Ullaklu Bhoota is also referred to as Ravuta or horse rider. The Ravuta is like a commandant, ready to follow the order of his Bhoota king. In his right hand, he holds a sword and sits atop his steed in a commanding position. He sports simple jewelry with earrings in a distinct snakehood pattern. He has a prominent mustache, and the details on his lower garment are clearly seen. The horse and its rider are two separate icons. According to a legend, Babburya Bhoota was the son of Fatima Bibi, who belonged to the Biari community. During one of his voyages, he disappeared and became a Bhoota. Babburya Bhoota represents the community of fishermen and is accorded slightly below the other Bhootas in status. This icon, like its impersonator, is simply attired with a cloth tied around his head, no elaborate jewelry or other adornments. The sister of Kalkuda Bhoota, Kallurthi, is adorned with a beautiful crown, minimal jewelry, and a simple long skirt. Like her brother, she too holds a chisel and hammer in her hands. This is a less elaborate depiction of the Jummadi Bhoota, an androgynous deity. Like its counterpart displayed before, this figurine too is depicted as female from waist above and as male from below. Having been created at a different time during the 18th century, most likely by different craftsmen, the crown, jewelry, and other detailing on this icon are different yet distinct. What is clearly visible here is the bindi adorning the figure's forehead. Owing to its androgynous nature, the icon has a clearly defined female torso and a male lower body. This is not an icon of independent status. Instead, it is part of a group of Parivara Daivas of Nandikeshwara Bhoota of Mekekattu. Though badly mutilated, as the arms of this figurine have been damaged due to age, the jewelry details that are visible are quite stunning. The icon sports a simple crown indicative of her minor status. Her earrings are disc-shaped and studded with large gems, very unlike the earrings adorning other Bhoota figures. An interesting feature here is her nose ornament and garments, something resembling a short skirt and a blouse. Her hair is simply coiffed in a bun-like style. The simple attire and ornamentation clearly indicate that this is a minor Bhoota. The icon holds a bell and sword in its hands and is decked in a long garment. On its feet are special anklets known as gaggara. Its snake-like crown is very noticeable. The age of the figurine clearly enunciated by the large crack visible just at the base of the ornament. This Kodamanithaya's features too have faded with age. However, the elaborate carving to depict jewelry and garments are clearly visible. Considered a kingly spirit, this icon is seen holding a bell and a twisted staff in its hands. This icon resembles masks made to this day that are used by the spirit impersonator portraying Kodamanithaya.